What I wanted to cover in this video real quick are some simple tools that we can use to help us in self-defense, which are perfectly legal to carry around, but that can be very effective. The first is the keychain. It's just a spike, a self-defense keychain. It's just a spike. You can carry it without the keys on it. It works even better if you have keys on it. And very easy to carry if you're walking to your car in a parking garage at night. You just can simply carry your keys to the car, but it also has a point on it, so it's a very effective striking weapon, okay? Something else that has the same basic principle, it's a tactical pen. And the tactical pen, same thing, you carry in your pocket, in your pants pocket, your shirt pocket. Simply take it out, and in this particular case, because it doesn't really have finger grooves on it, you have to put your thumb over the top, otherwise the first time you strike it's going to pop out. So you have to put your thumb over the top here, and same thing, you can strike. Now this one is actually very pointed, very sharp. This will puncture. So this one here, you could actually probably, in the ribs, you could probably get through to a lung if you wanted to. You go into the neck, certainly it'll take out somebody's eye. So this is actually very dangerous, but you can buy different styles of this pen. You can buy a lot of these tactical pens that have a more rounded tip on it like this. Some have a much less sharp point than this. So it won't really puncture, but it will still, on a strike or an impact, do a lot of damage and hurt quite a bit, okay? Both of these, by the way, I have carried on airplanes dozens of times. On one flight, I had my tactical pen in one airport that is known for very high security. I made the mistake of not keeping it in my briefcase, but keeping it in my pocket. I went through the metal detector. They really took it out and said, no, it looks too much like a weapon, and they confiscated it. So now, these are not super cheap. These do cost a little bit of money. So I now always, when I go to the airport, take it out of my briefcase or pocket, put it in my checked luggage, and then take it out of my checked luggage when I get back. This particular item, I've never had anybody question it getting onto an airplane security. This really doesn't look very threatening. It just looks like a sort of a decorative keychain, okay? Both of these items are readily available. We have these items in stock here at Monarchy. These we've ordered some, but you can get these in quite a few places in Kuala Lumpur. The other item, which is generally not considered a self-defense weapon, is a flashlight. Okay, these work very effectively. The critical thing is the number of lumens, which is essentially the brightness. Okay, this is a 1,000 lumen flashlight, so this thing is very bright. You can get them much smaller than this with lumens of 500 to 600. This is really enough, and it's a lot more convenient to carry. These, as a self-defense tool, will work in a room that's well lit like this, where we're sort of adjusted to lighting. Where they're even more effective is if you're at home at night or out at night in a dark place, and the attacker's eyes their pupils are dilated to adjust for night vision. Then these will be even more effective than that. And you can't really see it very easily, but on the bezel of this, there are actually ridges or bumps which are actually designed for striking and for breaking glass, okay? So the first thing I'll do is just take one or two techniques and show how, and we do this in class as well. So what I want students to start doing is every time we do a technique, imagine how could they modify that technique or be more effective in that technique if they weren't using just plain open hands for self-defense, but if they have one of these types of tools also available to them at the ready to use to defend themselves. So in the case where, let's just take for example where he grabs me around the neck from behind. So if I'm walking to the car and somebody jumps me from behind with this device, I would modify the techniques that we've seen in other videotapes by just simply coming down, striking him in the leg as hard as I can. Here, I can strike him in the groin here. I can basically come up and strike him in the arm here. He's not going to sit here and hold me, I promise you, as I'm striking here. When I break free, I can come around, strike him here, I can strike him in the temple. These are very dangerous strikes. Where the keys work really well is you basically just slap him across the eyes, rake him across the face, boom. Okay? So, very similar to the techniques we learned, all we're doing here is we're adding a lot of extra pain by striking with an actual object, a sharp object, legal, something we can easily carry in our hands as opposed to just our bare fists. Okay? Another example might be the case where he comes in for a two-handed choke. Same basic escape, we're going to step forward, block the arms, but now when I come back, I can come back with the point, I can come back with the keys right across the eyes, I can strike him in the chest. With this particular device, I'm not going to kill him. If I hit him in the temple, puncture his neck with it, go into an eye, it can cause some serious damage, but not too bad. This would be a lot worse. This would go into his thigh, would potentially go into his lung, it would go much deeper. The tactical pen can be a much more dangerous tool than the tactical keychain. The way the flashlight works is really simple. I'm going to ask you to give me an honest reaction to this. So if we're in a well-lit place now, but if we're in a dark room and someone gets close to you, all you have to do is you come up, right? And that's the reaction, right? And you're still probably, it's much worse than a flashball, okay? But that simple reaction, the simple turning of your head to get away from it, all I have to do with the flashlight from there is strike you in the head, strike you in the neck, strike you in the chest. Again, it's going to shock the guy, it's going to cause a lot of pain, probably give you very likely, it's going to give you an opportunity to escape. So, and by the way, we can easily get flashlights many places here in KL to carry the tactical flashlights. So, in our classes, we will be more and more trying to teach techniques with our open hands, bare hands, but then talking about, okay, how can we modify this using some of these simple, very legal tools that for the most part, it's certainly much from a legal liability standpoint, a lot better off than trying to offset an attack or subdue an attack with a blade weapon. Okay? All right, so good. Thanks.